The second to last Raging Loop stream. The second to last extra story. Say your goodbyes now. Or I guess soon. Prepare your goodbyes. We're gonna read the second to last story here, and then we're gonna probably play like an hour round of checking out the new Bubsy game that came out, I think last week. 40, the fourth dimension. Boy and girl versus In From Hell. Let's not waste any time since we're gonna do two things here tonight. Boy and girl versus In From Hell, and it then parenthetical comedy. Now the last one was what, horror, right? And it was very horrorful, so I can only assume this will be comedy-ful. Hello, hi, hello. God in quotation marks and priest in quotation marks are forced to seek an inn for the night. But what they find is an annoying journey through an unfair hell that even a certain swindler couldn't help complain about. How exciting. How exciting. Sign me up, I say. That's like a thing in my throat. Alright, Haru Makishima. Hey, why don't we stop this, Mochi? It's our two favorite characters, Mochi and Haru. How exciting. Honestly, I'll take any extra story with Mochi. This may surprise, I kind of wanted more Mochi. I thought Mochi was maybe had like the most potential of like a character that felt like underdeveloped a bit. Like they basically just used him mostly as like somewhat like comedic relief kind of thing. But I feel like he could have offered a lot more, I feel, as a character. So I'll say it. He says, I'm tired and you're tired. Honestly, I don't mind sleeping outside. I don't wanna. You wanna keep looking for something else? The sun had already set, and the air was filled with the orchestra of bugs and frogs. The two of them were in the mountains. Though the scenery was similar, they were quite far, apparently, from Fujiyoshi, and were more or less stranded. Their circumstances were simple. It was summer break, and they had no school. In Yasumitsu, summer break was basically doing your homework, tending the fields, pulling weeds, etc. In the past, they used to catch bugs and so on, but they weren't kids anymore, so summer break was pretty boring. Yasunaga had also seized this chance to visit colleges in Tokyo, which we just read about in the last extra story. And then horror happened. In times like these, it was normal for the residents of Yasumitsu to give a little money for travel expenses. That said, the lion's share of that money was mostly provided by the adults. Kanzo's hunting income and mountain festival tributes often covered the majority of the funds. Yasumitsu had barely any concept of personal funds to begin with. But recent events had changed things. Before, the majority of people's money had been re-levied by the Higuchi under the pretext of paying for the eatery's expenses and school funds. But now that they had skipped town, it had all gone up in the air. At the present, the Nasada were dealing with the few assets the Miguruma and Higuchi had left behind, while compensating for the losses of the deposits the two families had taken off with. As part of that, the other day, they returned all the traceable assets that they'd levied back to Yasumitsu. As a result, some of the cash they'd gathered had fallen into the lap of Yasumitsu's representative, Tai. This money was distributed to everyone, but the majority of it was immediately saved up for the construction of the shrine to the recently resurrected god. That said, there was no mistaking that it was a rare case of discretionary income for Yasumitsu. That blessing was also distributed to the children as allowance. Yasunaga had taken his whole sum and used it to buy a reference book and to cover travel expenses for college visits. Furthermore, his brother Yoshitsugu had used his money to go to the city and buy a new sharp knife for his mother to use in the dining hall. However, Chikamochi had no intention of going on to college, while Haru was a 10th grader, so still too early for her to consider it. God, she was a 10th grader, man. And there was a plot about fucking our guy, Fusashi. Oh, God. It disgusts me all over again. I'm re-disgusted. After seeing Yasunaga off as he departed on his college visits, the two took a bus to the nearby city of Kachihara. All Yasumitsu looked at it as a date. Even without Yasunaga, the two of them had a surprising amount of fun hanging out in the city. Normally, they had a good balance, the free-spirited Chikamochi in the lead, the reserved Haru falling behind, and Yasunaga between them. But now, Chikamochi and Haru were side by side, both metaphorically and physically. Oh, Haru had learned to talk about what she wanted to do, rather than just reject things she didn't, while Chikamochi had learned to ask for Haru's opinions and preferences before he did anything. With the incident 2 months prior serving as a trigger, the two of them were learning the social skills and spirit of cooperation most people already possessed. Though, they did keep their rather bizarre sense of fashion. Thus, their date had gone almost perfectly. Their mistakes had happened all at once near the end. Oh, here's where the comedy comes in, isn't it? They'd gotten on the wrong bus. They were so tired from their date that they fell asleep. When they realized what happened, they panicked and ended up getting off at some bus station at some mountain they'd never heard of. They didn't have cell phones or map, and it seemed the bus they'd been on was the last one for the day. And so the lost boy and girl walked down the road with the sun fully set, bringing us to now. Oh, that's zany, dude. Fortunately, they hadn't gotten completely lost and had managed to arrive at this place. An inn in the middle of the mountains? At first glance, it looked like a large, seasoned Japanese-styled inn you'd see deep in the mountains on a commercial. But on closer inspection, it only looked that way on the surface, and the Japanese-style parts were just papier-mâché put together with duct tape and vinyl bags. The majority of it was constructed with cheap prefab materials, and it seemed one part of it had simply been left broken with no attempt made to fix it. On the other hand, it was well lit. But seeing the disheartening name, Bed End, on the inn's lit-up sign board, provoked nothing but anxiety from Haru.
Daichi, お金いくら残ってるの? 入ったって泊まれないでしょうに.
How much money do we even have left? They might not even let us in.
なんか馬小屋かどっかで寝させてもらえればいいじゃん.
Maybe they'll let us sleep in the horse stables or something.
時代劇とかじゃないから.
This isn't a historical drama.
まあ2000円くらいあるからなんとかなるんじゃないかな.
Well, I've got 2,000 yen left, so I think we can manage.
私も1000円もないよ.
I don't even have 1,000. She brought some accessories for herself and gloves as a present for her grandfather, so she barely had any allowance left. Chikamochi had only brought some fast food with Haru, and was satisfied with just rolling up all the nearby flyers without even reading them. In the first place, there were very few places that would let the two of them stay for under 3,000 yen. Neither of them were under that impression. Then what do you want to do? Though their grasp of common sense had matured, Chikamochi still did whatever he wanted without reservation, while Haru was introverted, so they found themselves at odds in times like these. However, Haru was learning how to compromise without simply giving up on her opinion.
わかった。とりあえず入ってみて、そこで電話を借りよう。それで香織さんにどうすればいいか聞こう。
Fine. We'll just go in and ask if we can use their phone, and call Kaori-san to ask what we should do.
おー、はるちゃん、なんか休んみたいだ。
Now there's a plan. You're sounding like Yasun there, Haru-chan.
バカね。兄ちゃんには到底及ばないわよ。
Don't be an idiot. I can never reach Nii-chan's level.
そんなとこで焼かない。手つなぐ?
Don't get jealous over something like that. Wanna hold hands?
つなぐ.
Okay. Yeah. And so the two of them entered the suspicious inn named Bed End. Bed End, more like Dead End. What the hell am I looking at? Bloodstained proprietress in a completely different art style and blown the hell up. Welcome to the Dead End. Scream. It's the comedy. The comedy is here. The comedy has arrived. Oh wow, your scream is so loud that you scared them more than they scared you. Ah ha ha. Ah ha ha ha.
ばちゃん生きてる人間じゃないな。
You're a zombie, aren't you, old lady?
正真正銘の心霊現象でございます。あとこっちは去年33歳のバレなおばさんが殺すぞ。
I'm an authentic paranormal phenomenon. Also, I died when I was 33. Who are you calling an old lady? I'll kill you. Tex was out of the box there. Calm down, Haru. You're a top paranormal phenomenon yourself, you know? I can almost see your undies. Okay. Eek! Eek! I can't. I know I've been feeling more presences lately, but this is too flagrant. What are you, ma'am? You still got some lingering regrets in this world? Reactions like these are funny. You're staying in this world for a stupid reason like that, and don't change your inn's name like that. That's it. More black talk, more shame, more. What a pervert. We're leaving, Mochi. Like hell we're gonna stay in a place like this. Oh, well, you can't leave, obviously. No, Mochi, hold that and I'll pull this and oh man, this door's tough. Don't worry, not going to eat you. Everyone, we have guests. Large knife skeleton. Clatter, 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 clatter. These things are gonna eat us. Mochi, if we're gonna die, please hold me. Oh my, seems we have a rather close pair here tonight, host-chan. Translucent hostess. So close. This is so weird. This is so. I mean, obviously the tone is different. You know, the tone is it's whatever. Show these youngins around. As you wish. Haru-chan, you're so warm and soft. Oh my god. All hell's breaking loose here in this story. Oh my, how good is it to be young? Cute. Cut it out already, you pack of idiots! It was a threat full of divine might. The inn's lobby, jam-packed with ghosts and apparitions, fell silent. All of them, Chikamochi included, were sitting on their knees. Hey, proprietress, are you from around these mountains? You sure have guts to act so foolish before God. That sprite kills me. That's just like, they're just like, alright, let's make something goofy. Sigh. I never thought we'd be having a god stay over. I better heat up the baths. Cute. And with this, our movie deal is set. How come you're familiar with such modern expressions? Oh, that one came here not too long ago.
なんかこう歴史と伝統あふれる幽霊屋敷じゃないの？
This is one of the. This isn't one of those. They got this type of those. This isn't one of those. One of those ancient ghost houses bring with history and traditions.
いえいえ、私がこの山で非業の死を遂げた5年ほど前に始まったものです。
Oh no! I started up this place 5 years ago after my unusual death in the mountains.
浅いの歴史してなんじゃ？そのありさまじゃと獣か交通事故か？
So this place is recent. And what is up with your appearance? Were you killed by beasts? A car accident?
いえ、会社での使い込みがバレてこうなったら自殺のふりして踏み倒そうと山に入ったら散歩で崖から落ちまして。
Oh no, my company found out I was embezzling funds, so I faked a suicide and fled to the mountains to hide, but 3 steps later I fell off a cliff.
気持ちいいくらい自業自得じゃった。
I would say you got what you deserved.
山の雑霊やら高にやらが寄ってたかって指差し笑いバカにする中息絶えまして、その無念から怨霊に。
And the spirits and imps of the mountains all gathered around to laugh and mock me as I died. And so from my shame did I become a vengeful ghost.
神様、笑っていい？
Can I laugh, God?
やめとくのじゃ一応。で、あれか。いろいろあったが自殺は良くないということで、山で迷った者のために宿を開いたと。
Refrain for now. So, does that mean despite what happened you opened this inn for those wandering in the mountains to keep them from committing suicide?
いえ、この宿に仕組まれた仕掛けの数々で私よりも滑稽な死に方をさせスカッとしようと。
Oh, no. This inn is quite full of traps and like, and I'm looking to entertain myself by watching people die in funnier ways than I did.
最低じゃな。もう普通に迷惑な怨霊じゃ。
That is horrible. You are nothing more than your ordinary vengeful ghost who causes trouble for others.
違います。我々はたたってはおりますが、死してなおエンターテイナーであろうと目覚めた者たちなのです。
No, we may curse others, but we are those who have awoken in death to calling us entertainers.
というわけで山に死を求めた方、
Bones rattling noise.
落ち込んだ方、その他ただ通りすがっただけの方も対象とし。
So we target those who come to the mountain seeking death, those who bring greed, and anyone else passing by.
取って食うなど生ぬるい。せいぜい壮絶な笑い死にを遂げていただこうというのが当旅館のコンセプトでございます。
But eating them is too cliche. This inn was built on the concept of making people die of laughter.
神パンチ。
God punch!
成仏する。成仏する。
Yeah, the light. I'm going into the light.
下克上の気配。
Heh, heh, heh. I sense a retainer usurping her lord.
安心せえ。峰打ちじゃ。しかし見ればそこそこ力も人望もある様子。真面目にやれば神にもなれように。
Relax. It was not fatal. However, from what I can tell, she's fairly powerful and popular. So if she puts some effort into it, she could become a god.
こんな非道なしのぎはやめて我が門下に入らぬか。山の真意を共に盛り上げるのじゃ。
Why not cease this inhuman con game and become my disciple? We can restore the divinity of the mountain together.
嫌です。支配とか興味ないですし。
Nah, I'll pass. I'm not interested in ruling.
じゃあしょうがないの。渾身の神ヤクザキックで昇天せい。
Then I suppose I have no choice. Face the full-powered god, Yakuza kick, and meet your maker.
おーっと、良いのですか。私が成仏するとここは単なる超絶不浄な心霊スポットに戻りますよ。
Whoa, are you sure about this? If I pass on this place, we'll go back to being a hotspot for the filthiest spirits you can imagine.
神様はお宿をお求めだったのでは。
Are you not looking for accommodations, God?
それって別に僕らが幻覚見てるだけで、現実では結局それなんじゃ。
So wait, you mean we're not hallucinating? This is really happening?
そういうしょうもないやつもおるが、こやつは一応全てを実体化させておるようですな。 迷いがのごときか。
There are such foolish types amongst them, but this one really does have the power to temporarily make all of this real, in the shape of a lost inn.
我々のおもてなしをお受けになるなら快適な一夜をお約束いたしますよ。
If you accept our hospitality, we promise we'll let you spend a night here in comfort.
つまりあれか。一晩安全に宿を貸す代わり、ここでの強行は見逃せと、そう申すか。
So what are you saying is that if we overlook your crimes here, you'll let us spend the night here safely?
タコにも、いや、イカにも。
Indeed, that's as certain as a sea breeze is salty.
タコやイカは好きじゃ。
I did enjoy the breeze at Atami.
神様違う。
God, not now.
我らはあまり金は持っておらぬぞ。それでも良いのじゃろうな。
We do not have much money. Are you sure it is all right with you?
それはも
Of course.
モッチーは
And you, Mochi?
う。おお、幽霊旅館で宿泊だ。
Yeah, let's spend the night in a ghost inn.
まあそうじゃろうな。春のやつはあんまり気が進まんようじゃが、他よりマシとも思ってはおるようじゃ。
Well, I figured as much. Haru does not like it, but she thinks it's better than nothing.
そういうわけで絶対危害は加えないでよね。
Very well then. Swear you'll not harm us.
それはもう。
But of course.
3階のお部屋にご案内いたします。
I shall lead you to your rooms on the third floor.
こちら、お部屋と見せかけて落とし穴でございます。
This is a trapdoor disguised as a room. Scream again.
はるちゃん。ほっ。
Haru-chan, yeah! Eek. Eek. Mochi, don't let go of me.
非力な僕にはきついじょ。ちなみにこの下何があるの？
Physical strength is my forte. By the way, is it just me or is something down there?
腰までの深さのうんこが。
It's a pile of poop that reaches up to your waist. What am I reading, man?
というか何あんた、危害は加えないって言ったじゃん。
You suck. Didn't you say you wouldn't harm us?
大丈夫ですよ神様。いつもなら無数のうんこ型の鉄のトゲトゲの串刺しになるところですよ。
Don't worry, God. Normally there'd be countless poop-shaped iron skewers.
それも嫌だけど罠は全部やめろ。
I wouldn't want that either. But quit it with the traps.
はるちゃんそれより手を。しょ。
Haru-chan, give me your hand. Huh.
かわされた。
Kill. So you avoided it.
約束が違うでしょ。
This isn't what you promised.
だから危害は加えませんってば。これはそう、いわゆるサービスです。
Like I said, we won't harm you. This is what you'd call a freebie.
サービス？はい、
A freebie?
アトラクションと言ってもいい。この何もない山奥の宿で提供できるのはスリルとサスペンスくらいですから。
Yes, you could also call it an attraction if you'd like. Here, we can provide you with thrills and suspense you never find on this boring mountain.
いらない。
No, thank you.
おっとそいつは困ります。何せこっちも娯楽に飢えた一段ゆえ、この程度の集大は晒していただかねば。
Oh, but that simply won't do. Our group thirsts for entertainment, so we need you to make shameful scenes like this.
しゅったい。やっぱあんた悪霊じゃない。絶対ぶっ飛ばしてやるわ。
Shameful scenes? You really are a vengeful ghost. I'm gonna beat you up.
いいのかな。建物が消滅したらあなたは声だめ息。
Are you sure about that? This building vanishes, you'll fall right into the cesspool.
こん
Damn you.
な。はるちゃん、諦めようよ。このおばちゃんに一杯食わされたんだよ。
Give it up, Haru-chan. This old lady's tricked us.
おばちゃん呼ばわりは許さないけど、そういうことよ。
Ah ha 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 ha. Ah ha 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 ha. You'll pay for calling me an old lady, but yes, you're right.
おかみ、あんまり調子に乗ると 明日何が何でも成仏させられるんじゃ。
Ma'am, if you keep pushing them, we'll all be seeing heaven come tomorrow.
とりあえず次はちゃんとした部屋に案内して差し上げて。
Okay, then I'll take you to a proper room this time.
はい。こちらです。
Yes, this way.
いや、もう許しませんけど。
No, no more of that.
部屋。
Yay, a room.
普通の部屋だわ。
Is it a normal room?
よくわかんないけど、罠もないっぽい。
I don't know, but there don't seem to be any traps.
どうぞごゆっくり。
Have a pleasant stay.
あ、ちょっと待って。うちに電話したいんだけど。
Oh wait, we'd like to make a phone call.
あるにはありますが、鉄塔の下に埋まってる子に中継お願いするんで、やや地獄的な内容に変換されますが。
We have a phone, but you'll have to do it through the girl buried under the pylon, and she'll put a bit of a hellish twist on whatever you say.
絶対使わない。
We're not using that.
香りママそっとしそう。
Mommy Kaori's gonna faint.
神様、なんとかなんない？
Hey God, can't you do something?
貴様は神を何と思うておられるのじゃ。
What do you think God is?
いやー、大したことじゃなくてさ、神様の加護であの子たちは無事って思えたらいいなって。実際そうなんだし。
Oh, it's no big deal. I just thought it'd be nice if you could use your power to let everyone know that Harchan and I are okay. I mean, you can, right?
はるちゃんのじっちゃんが淡くって鉄砲振り回してきたら嫌じゃん。
Otherwise, Harchan's grandpa's gonna be foaming at the mouth and swinging that rifle around.
確かにそれはいろいろあれであらすな。そのくらいなら、まあよかろう。
True, that would bring all sorts of trouble. Suppose I can manage that much.
よろしいですか？
Very
では
well.
ごゆっくり。
Very well. Enjoy yourselves then.
もう大丈夫？
Did it work?
ふむ。皆さほど心配せぬであろう。
Yes. No one will be particularly worried.
よーし、部屋を荒らすぞ。
Alright, then let's lay waste to this room.
やめなさいよって言いたいところだけど、今回に限ってはあちこちひっくり返さないと不安で仕方ないわ。
Normally, till you just stop, but in this case, I don't think I'll be calm until we turn this place inside out.
罠あると思う？
You think there are traps?
絶対あるでしょ。むしろ一撃死させれば大丈夫だとか言ってヤバいのを仕掛けてる可能性があるわ。
Definitely. There's a possibility they've got something really dangerous that'll kill you in one hit.
なんかそういうのはもう大丈夫な気がする。
Hmm.
何かはある気がする。
I don't think we gotta worry about that, but it feels like something's here.
何かって何？
Like what?
なんかもっと嫌がらせ的なさ。例えばこの茶筒を開けたら。
Like something more malicious. Like if I open this tea caddy, it'll...
茶っ葉の茶パティ
Tea time!
ででーん。神様、アウト。
Da da got out.
何これ。痛い痛い痛い。
Ah, what is this? Ah, ow, 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 ow.
200年前の遥か南国の
Oh,
勇者によ
shit.
るお尻ツンツンの刑ですわ。ほら、良い具合になってきたでしょ。
The ass-poking punishment they used to do to heroes 200 years ago in a country far to the south. Aren't you feeling really good now?
なるかバカ。というか何をアウトって。
Of course I'm not, you idiot. And what do you mean when you said I was out?
いえ、もうすぐこういうのがテレビ放映されて大人気になると電波がね。
Actually, we've received radio waves telling us that this is going to be really popular on TV in the near future.
おばちゃん、解説のためならどこからでも出てくるな。
If it's to explain something, this old lady just pops up anywhere.
というかこれは危害でしょうが。約束違反。宿と引き換えにどんな無茶も通るとは思わないでよね。
And besides, you're hurting me, aren't you? You broke our agreement. Don't you think you can just go pulling whatever nonsense you want because you're letting us stay for the night?
神様実は魔女っぽいから喜んでいただけると思いましたのに。
Well, God seems like a real masochist, so I genuinely believed you would enjoy this.
どこのそういう人だっていきなり霊に尻をつつかれて喜ぶわけないでしょうが。
Maso, not even one of them would enjoy getting their butts poked out of the blue by a ghost.
わかりました。じゃあ中ちゃんプラン053で。
Cheh, understood. Then go with plan 053, Host-chan.
了解。
Roger that. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Tea time!
ちょっとあんたら連れて行きなさいよ。この喋るチャンス。
Hey, take this talking tea caddy with you.
ごゆっ
I just...
くり。
What the hell? Again, I must ask, what the hell am I reading? I don't think the other 3 stories, extra stories we've done so far, I'm like, okay, I kind of like them. They're enjoyable. This one's just, the attempt at humor is just, I guess maybe not landing with me. It's just nonsense. It's like the worst, it's just a combination of the worst parts of humor so far that we had throughout all of Raging Loop, distilled into just a constant, like nothing is happening. Is what it feels like. To have a pleasant evening. Does that make sense? Does that complaint make sense? Whatever.
去ったわね。
They're gone.
プラン何番まであるんだろ
I wonder exactly how many plans they have.
う。モッチーの勘でなんとか回避できない？
Can't you avoid them using your intuition?
そういうの神様なら一発で読めるんじゃないの？
Can't you just use God to read their minds and find out?
あんまり頼りたくないのよ。私たちの問題だし。それにポンポン使ってたら真意が落ちちゃう。
I don't want to rely too much on her. This is our problem, and if I go too crazy with that power, her divinity will grow weaker.
そっか。
I see.
何にも触らないでおとなしくするのが良さそうな気がする。
I think it'd be best if we tried to keep quiet and not touch anything.
正論ね。
That sounds good.
落ち着いて見てみると、外側はあんなにしょぼかったのに、中は結構ちゃんと和室だったね。
You know, when I think about it, the outside of this place looks like so tacky, but it's actually got some nice rooms on the inside.
確かに、安水の集会堂みたい。
Yeah, reminds me of Yasumisu's hall.
野里の本家の部屋も、こんな感じだったな。
The rooms in the Nosada head's house are also like this.
そっか、モッチーももともとは長者だったんだ。
Oh, right. You're originally a village head.
やっすんもね。あと、ちえねえもでしょ？ちえねえのはびっくりしたな。
Same with Yasun. And Shieni, right? I sure was surprised to learn about her.
そうだね。温泉旅行でいろいろ教えてもらったけど、傷も見せてもらった。
Yeah, she told me a lot when we went to the hot springs trip. And she showed me her scars.
こうして見ると、安水の半分くらいは長者の血縁なんだよね。
When you think of it, about half of Yasumisu carries the blood of village heads.
そうかも。でも、みんなもう安水の仲間だよね。
Well, yeah, but we're all Yasumisu brothers and sisters, right?
当たり前じゃん。まあ、そうじゃなかったら、やっすんちもちえねえもいなくなってたんじゃないかな。
Of course, though maybe Yasun and Chieni would have gone away if we weren't.
そっか。身車と樋口、いなくなっちゃったもんね。
Oh, right, because the Miguruma and Higuchi went away, right?
うん。
Yeah,
いい君じゃな。
serves those fools right.
はるちゃんも言ってたけど、なんか神様今日出てきすぎじゃない？なんかまた変なこと考えてない？
You know, Haru-chan said the same thing, but don't you think you've been showing up too much today, God? What, you got some new scheme on your mind?
無礼なことを。
Go away,
別にも
God.
う貴様らをどうこうしようとは思ってはおりませぬ。
How rude. I'm no longer planning on doing anything to all of you.
貴様が鏡として世を馴染んできたのもあるが、 まあ別に出てきとうて出てきとるわけでもありませんぞ。
The fact you have grown quite accustomed to serving as my mirror is part of it, but it is not as though I manifest purely out of my own will.
春のやつが言う通り、やつが我にすがれば我は現れる。
Just as Haru
もう
said,
少し強くならねば我の権限は止められぬでしょうな。
just as Haru said, I appear when she clings to me. When she gets a little stronger, I should stop manifesting.
そっか。じゃあはるちゃんが強い大人になったらもう出てこないのか。
I see. So you won't show up if Haru-chan becomes a strong adult.
うん。じゃからはよ祠をお立てなされ。そうなれば勘語りするのは貴様ぞ、モッチー。
Right? So hurry and build my shrine. Once it is done, it is you who shall speak my words, Mochi.
ふーむ。
Humma.
なんか歌とか踊りとか覚えた方がいい？
Humma. Sounds like I should take up singing and dancing then.
ほう。嬉しいことを言うてくれる。
Oh, ho, that would be pleasing indeed.
神おろしの舞を舞うてくれるなら、我が格も上がろうというものじゃ。
If you dance for me to possess you, then my prestige would grow.
じゃあやるよ。どうせやりたいこともないし。
Then I'll do it. Don't have anything I want to do anyway.
貴様が本気でそう思うておるのはわかるが、よろしいのか？
I know you seriously believe that, but are you alright with it?
モッチーも大学行きたいとかないの？成績ひどいけど、やる気になればできるんじゃないの？
Don't you want to go to college or anything? I know your grades are horrible, but I think you can manage with the proper motivation.
そりゃあ外で遊びたいとは思うけど、遊ぶためのところじゃないって先生も言ってたしな。
Well, I would like to have a good time away from home, but the teacher said that's not a place where you play.
やっすんみたいにどうしてそうなるかとかは別に面白くないんだよ。ただ面白いのがいいんだ、僕は。
Unlike Yasun, I'm not really interested in the why stuff. I just want things that are interesting or fun, plain simple.
私は
I
面白
respect
い？
Chikamochi so much. Am I interesting?
きっと一生面白い。
Yep, you'll never be a bore.
私、多分大学行くよ。
I'm probably going to college.
え？
Huh?
私、女だから腕力はないでしょ。お金もない。だから、もうちょっと勉強して、頭で強さを手に入れるの。
I'm a woman, so I don't have much physical strength, nor do I have money, so I want to study more and get smarter.
それで、休みずをもっと素敵な場所にする。
Then, I'll make Yasumisu an even greater place.
それはすごいけどさ、何すんの？建築とか？やっすんみたいに法律？
That's great and all, but what exactly are you going to study? Architecture? Law? Like Yasun?
兄ちゃんは多分、そっちには行かない。だからそうだね。私が行ってもいいかも。あとは、
Nii-chan probably won't go for that. So yeah, maybe good for me to try that in.
あとは？
And what?
お金関係、経済とか、金融とか。いずれ、札束で長者のほっぺた殴ってやろうって思ってたのよ。
What's it called? Money relations? Economics? Financing? I've always wanted to smack the village heads in the face with a wad of bills.
おお、かっこいい。
Oh, that's cool.
まあ、今はちょっと状況変わっちゃったけどさ。やっぱ経済には興味あるから、そっちに進むと思う。
Well, situation has changed a little now, though. I'm still interested in economics, however, so I think I'll go for that.
その時、モッチーはどうすんの？休みずで4年間待ってる？
What'll you do then, Mochi? Wait 4 years in Yasumisu?
それは、やだ。
I don't want to.
私もやだ。というか、神様は本当は休みずを離れたくないって言ってるし。
Me neither. God says she doesn't want to leave Yasumisu either.
だからせめて、妻子たるモッチーには、そばにいてもらわないと。
So at the very least, I need you, her priest, by my side.
働く？
Am I gonna have to work?
モッチーには難しそうだな。
That sounds hard for you.
まあ、 大学生ができそうな気もしないけど、なんかないかな。モッチーが好きなことできそうな場所。
Well, doesn't sound like you want to go to college or do college though. Isn't there any place where you can do what you like?
よくわかんないけど、人生ってめんどくさいな。
I don't really know. Life sounds like such a pain. God, he's so real for saying that.
じゃからといって死んでみようなど
He's so
と思う
relatable.
てはなりませんぞ、モッチー。
You should not entertain the thought of dying for a reason like that, Mochi.
ちょっと思っただけなのに、神様にはバレバレか。
I only thought it for a second. Guess that's more than enough time for you, God.
最悪、狼じじいみたいになっても生きててよ。私が死ぬまででいいからさ。
At the very worst, live even if it means ending up like the old wolf man. At least until I die.
すっごいわがまま。
You're so selfish.
うん。悪く生きるって約束したから。
Yes, because I promised to live as a villain.
わかった。
Alright,
約束だよ。
then it's a promise.
じゃあ、もうちょっと面白く生きる方法を探さなきゃな。
Then I'd better find a more fun way to live.
そうだよ。みんなそうやって一生懸命やってるんだから。
Yeah, everyone works hard for that purpose.
ね。
Hey.
うん。
Everybody's working for the weekend. That's basically
お
what they're
腹
saying.
すいた。
I'm hungry. Don't eat the ghost hotel
だ
food.
よね。お昼からだいぶ経っちゃったし、仕方ないよね。
Yeah, figures. So much has happened since lunch that we haven't eaten.
そうだな。その辺で山菜探して食べよっか。
Uh-huh. Let's look around and see if we can find some edible mountain plants.
モッチ、そういう山登りとかしたら？
Mountain plants. You're thinking of climbing around these parts?
神様がそういうこと言う？
What would God say to that?
うち以外の山に浮気するでない。
Do not cheat on me with another mountain.
でしょ。
Yeah, figured.
そっか。
Right.
しないしない。
I swear I won't.
本当？
Really?
うん。
Yeah.
お食事の準備ができました。
We made you food.
ノックくらいしなさいよ。っていうかせめてドア開けて入れ。
Hey, at least knock. No, forget that. At least use a door.
っていうかご飯いただけるの？
Wait, is this food? We can have this?
お召し上がりの度胸があれば。
If you have the courage to eat it.
行くだけ行ってみる？
Should we give it a try?
行くだけね。
Just a try.
我が力によりカレーに改変されたうんことうんこに改変されたカレーです。どっちを食べたいですか？
Using my power, return poop into curry and curry into poop. Which do you want to eat?
絶対やると思ったわバカが。
Like who'll ever eat that, you idiot? Slap.
髪が30本ほど成仏した。やめてください神様。食べてる途中にうんこに変わってしまいますよ。
Eek, 30 strands of my hair went to heaven. Please stop it, God, or your food will turn into poop while you're eating it. I'm like, come on.
これも幻ってわけじゃなくて。
So this isn't an illusion either?
はい。私がこの世にいる限りうんこはカレーのままです。
No. As long as I remain in this world, the poop will be curry.
だからこっち食べても大丈夫だよ、はるちゃん。
So it should be safe to eat this one, right, Haru-chan?
どっちも食えるわけないでしょ。ちょっと悪いけど外出させてもらうわ。
We can't eat either. Sorry, but we're going outside.
どうなさるので？
What are you going to do?
モッチーと一緒に野草でも取ってきて煮て食べるの。台所貸しなさい。
Mochi and I will pick some odd plants, boil them, and eat them. Let us use your kitchen.
あと明かりも欲しい。
And bring us a light.
それもダメならそう言えば。恨みがましく一晩苦しむだけだし。
If you say that too is impossible, we will merely spend the night suffering resentfully.
っていうか、考えたらここの台所の水とか使うの嫌だわ。やっぱやめようか。
Actually, now that I think about it, I don't want to use the water in this place's kitchen. Let's forget it.
お お腹すいた。
What? But I'm hungry.
それでうんことか食べるのは聖者の名誉にかけて嫌。
I swear on my honor as a living being that I won't eat poop because of that.
そっか。
Chikamochi wants to eat the shit. I see.
何よ。
What?
もしよかったら一つお願いしてもいいでしょうか。
If it's alright with you, can I ask a favor? Yeah?
戻ったぞモッチ。ほう、大量であるな。
We're back, Mochi. Mine now. This is quite a large haul, isn't it?
いやー、夏にあるはずのないやつとか、ここらに生えるはずないキノコとか、いっぱい取れてさ。
Seriously, wow, I found a lot of plants that shouldn't be growing in the summer as well as mushrooms that shouldn't grow around here.
ありえない感じだな。
Doesn't even seem possible.
まあ、要はそういうこと。ここがそういう場所じゃということに相違のうございますな。
Well, that is essentially what it is. I would say it is fitting given the nature of this place.
ほれ、ここの者が申した場所で汲んだ清水じゃ。それに奥の墓場に米と味噌が備えられておった。なんとも良好じゃ。
Look, this is spring water we got from the place they pointed us to. And there was rice and miso people left behind as offerings in that graveyard over there. How fortuitous.
わお、はるちゃんそんなん使っていいの？
Wow, should we really use those, Haruchan?
いいんじゃないの？緊急事態だし。それにおおむねお供えの意に沿う形で使うんだし。
Should be fine. It's an emergency. And we'll essentially be using those offerings for the purpose they were left there for.
いや、またおばちゃんの力で変えられたうんこだったりしないかなって。
No, I was just wondering if this isn't just more poop the lady turned into food.
嫌なこと言うわね。
I've said the word poop so often during this stream, probably more than any other stream I've ever said it that exists. I'd rather not think about that.
さすがにそこまではいたしません。この旅館を維持するだけで精一杯ですし。
Even I wouldn't go that far. It's taking all I've got to maintain that inn.
自分らへのお供えにそんなことしない。くっくっく。
We wouldn't do anything like that to an offering for us.
まあいいわ。信じた。とりあえず火と鍋を。
Whatever. I believe you. Get the fire and pot ready. Gata 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 gata. Translation right here. Translation, take good care of it.
まさか人玉で焚き火する日が来るなんて思わなかったな。
I never thought the day would come where I would sit at a bonfire with spirits.
ロマンチックじゃん。
It's romantic, isn't it?
そうかな。いろいろ麻痺してきた。
I don't know. I've grown used to a lot. Haru and Shikamochi cooked, surrounded by countless ghosts. That said, it wasn't anything difficult. They boiled plenty of water, cooked a little bit of rice, edible plants and mushrooms in it, finally melted miso, resulting in extremely primitive rice gruel. However, the generally crude, gross, and imps just watched, not interfering. It was like a service for suffering spirits. The proprietress said she would assist them if they would cook for all the lingering souls too. In response to that, a thought crossed Haru's mind. Though they were condescending and hedonistic, in the end these spirits were probably just lonely. They probably wanted to be consoled by having others cook food for their sakes.
おかゆ炊けたよ。
It's ready.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you.
お椀ある？
Do you have bowls?
十分に。
Plenty. And so Haru and Shikamochi personally distributed rice gruel to a long line of ghosts. One was a pale-faced warrior who'd fled battle. One was a headless soldier. One was a bride who cried blood. One was a fusion of multiple dead. One was a demon with around 30 arms or so. One was a rotting crow Tengu. One was a towering yokai with a stern face. One was an eyeless round yokai with a wide grin and tiny legs. One was a chupacabra. One was a mokele... One was a Shogoth. It was a lineup that made Haru want to question the existence of each and every one of them, but she desperately held back and continued distributing the gruel sincerely and gently. Finally, it ended with the skeleton, meatbag, hostess, and proprietress. There was just enough left for two at the bottom, so Haru and Shikamochi took it for themselves. The moment they sat down on a nearby rock, the presence of the ghosts around them instantly vanished.
成仏した？
Did they pass on?
いいな。そう簡単にはできんからさまようておるのですぞ。じゃがまあ、少しは気が落ち着いて安らいでおるのでしょうな。
No, they linger precisely because they cannot do so easily, but it would seem they have calmed a little and feel at ease.
そっか。じゃあ僕らも少しでも食べて安らかになろう。
I see. Then I guess we can eat and rest for a little.
そうだね。
Indeed.
いただきます。
Let's eat.
うん。ちょっとえぐいけど、美味しいんじゃないかな。
It's a little bitter, but it's tasty enough.
あんまアク抜きしないでも食べられるやつ探したから。
Yeah, I looked for stuff that was edible, even if you couldn't get much of the bitterness out of them.
なんか、ほっとする。
That's a relief.
お腹空いてる時にこういうの食べるとなんだか変な気分になるよね。
It feels kind of weird to be eating this when you're hungry, doesn't it?
変？
What do you mean by weird?
ああ、人間って動物だったんだなとか。
Oh, you know, because humans are animals or something like that?
なんか、変だけど、わかるかも。
That's kind of strange, but I think I get it. The two of them discussed those wild fantasies as they slowly ate their gruel.
ご飯が済んだらお風呂ですよね。
Now that dinner's over, you'll be taking a bath, yes?
油断してたから結構びっくりした。
Scream. You really scared me. I shouldn't have let my guard down.
お上の好感度が規定値を上回りましたので大浴場がアンロックされました。
You've gained enough proprietress affection points to unlock our large public bath.
そんなシステム知らない。
We didn't know about a system like that.
そういや汗っぽいや。熱いもの食べたもんね。
Now that you mention it, I'm sweaty. Guess it's because I ate something hot.
そうでしょう、親切なお客様。ぜひ当館自慢の露天風呂で汗をお流しを。
That's right, esteemed customer. Please wash your sweat away in our inn's finest bath.
なんで急にサービス品質爆上げするのよ。あのままにしとけばなんかしっとりオチがつきそうな気配だったじゃない。
Why are you suddenly treating us like honored guests? Weren't we headed towards a calm resolution just now?
多分お風呂にもどうしようもない仕掛けがあって全部台無しになる流れだ。
Knowing them, there's gonna be some other crazy trap at the bath that'll turn this whole thing into a disaster.
絶対行かない。
We're not going.
まあそれは使わないでおきます。こう見えても受けた恩はちゃんとあ代替で返すスタンスですから。
Well, we won't use that trap then. Despite appearances, we believe in repaying favors in good faith. We won't bite the hands that fed us.
信じねば汗まみれの不快な夜を過ごすのみ。
And if you don't believe us, you'll have to spend an uncomfortable night all sweaty.
まあ最初みたいな悪意はなさそうな気がするけど。
Well, they don't seem as malicious as they did at the start.
マジね、もっち。
Are you serious, Mochi?
マジだ。
Yep.
行くわ。じゃあ。
Then let's go.
問題なかったね。
See? No problems.
問題終わりよ。
There's a huge problem. The bath was mixed bathing. Oh no.
ちなみにこれも本来は声だめとかだったりするのかな。
By the way, I wonder if this used to be a cesspool or something.
考えないようにしてたのに。
I was trying not to think about that.
違いますよ。むしろ無人の山奥でそんなにうんこを集める方が大変でしょ。
That's wrong. In fact, it'd be a problem if so much poop gathered deep within an uninhabited mountain. Can I please stop having to say the word poop?
うわ、いつの間に。
Please. Whoa. When did you get here?
ここは一応もともと温泉旅館だったみたいです。その時の光景をこうして呼び出してるだけですよ。
It seems this place was originally a hot springs inn. We merely conjured the scenery from those days.
なんで潰れちゃったんだろう。
Why was it torn down?
ぶっちゃけ不景気らしいわ。
Seems the recession got to it.
やっぱ世の中お金だな。
The world really does revolve around money, huh?
っていうかおばちゃん、血は？
By the way, where's your blood, old lady?
まあ入浴中は止めておかないと湯船がかなりホラーになりますんで。
Well, if I didn't stop it when I was bathing, the bath would have looked like something straight out of a horror movie.
でも気を使ってくれるんだ。
Ugh, but you're being considerate of us, aren't you?
まあなんていうか、こういうのってみんな初めてですからね。ちょっとくらいサービスしてもいいかなと。
Well, how do I put it? This is a first for all of us. We thought we should throw in a bit of free hospitality for you.
なんかこの人たち普通に善玉になれるんじゃない？
Is it just me, or do these people seem like they could become fairly decent people if they wanted?
違いますし、これはただの10日交換ですし、これからも悪霊としてブイブイ言わせていきますし。
No, you've got it all wrong. This is merely an equivalent exchange. We'll keep on kicking back as the same old evil spirits after this.
っていうか普通の格好したらおばちゃん全然若いじゃん。
You know, you really do look young without all that blood, old lady.
ようやく認めたわね。
You finally admit it, do you?
僕と遊ぼう。
Play with me. Whoosh. What? Stare.
男じゃないの。
Oh no. Scream. You're a guy.
そうか。なんか慣れちゃってて当たり前に流してたけど、モッチーのこと知らない人は
Classic.
女の子に見えるか。
Huh? Oh, right. I've gotten used to it, so I don't think anything strange of it, but Mochi must look like a girl to strangers.
ほえ
Huh?
待ちなさい。そしたらあなたら女友達同士じゃなくて。
Hold on. Then you two aren't female friends?
カップルだ。
We're a couple.
やめてよモッチー。恥ずかしいじゃん。
Mochi, that's embarrassing. Change plans! And with a fierce scream, the vengeful ghost spun like a whirlpool and fled the bath.
これやばくない？なんかこう私らに嫉妬したおかみさんが超怒って嫌がらせ100倍増しとか。
Isn't this bad? I get the feeling she's gonna get really mad and up the embarrassment or harassment by 100% out of jealousy.
そんな感じでもなかったけどな。
I don't feel that way at all, though.
まあいいか。とりあえずいいお湯だし。
Well, whatever. Anyway, it's a nice bath.
そうだね。このまま寝そう。
Yeah, feel like I'm gonna fall asleep.
のぼせちゃうよ。
I feel dizzy.
洗いっことかする？
Should we wash our backs?
モッチーってば。私たちもうほとんど大人よ。いつまでもそういう感覚じゃダメだってば。
Mochi, we're practically adults, you know that? We can't keep things going this way forever. Hmm?
本当はこうして一緒に入ってるのも結構恥ずかしいんだよ。モッチーだからまあいいかって思ってるけどさ。
Honestly, it's really embarrassing being in the same bath like this. Though you might not care about that.
そっか。そうだね。
I see. You could be right.
じゃあ順番に洗い場使おっか。上がってる間、はるちゃんあっち向いてて。
Then let's take turns using the washing spot. Look away from me while we're bathing.
もちろん。
Huh? Okay.
なんでいきなりそんな感じに？いや、別にありがたいんだけど。
Huh? Why do you start acting like that? I mean, I'm grateful and all, it's just... Though confused by our childhood friend's subtle yet sudden change in attitude, Haru enjoyed her bath in peace. She put her regular clothes back on, feeling slightly disappointed they didn't have yukatas, and met up with Chikamochi outside the bathhouse. Oh, it's starting to thunderstorm. Oh, a thunderstorm. They proceeded through the empty hallways and stairwells cautiously, but it didn't seem like there was anything there.
ただただいい湯で終わったのかな。
Do you think this bath is really going to be peaceful from start to finish?
だね。なんか、着替えるところはすっごい汚かったけど。
Yeah, though the changing room was really dirty.
ああ、要はモッチーを男の子だと気づいてなかったんだろうね。
Oh, I bet that's because they didn't realize you were a boy.
だから脱衣所の片付けも適当だし、混浴も罠のつもりじゃなかったんだ。
That was why they only cleaned the girls' room. The mixed bathing part probably wasn't intended to be a trap.
罠ね。まだ罠とかあるのかな。もう悪いことしようって気はないんじゃないのかな。
Traps, huh? Wonder if there's still traps around. I didn't get the impression they'd do anything else bad to us, though.
そうかもね。じゃあどうしよう。部屋戻ったらもう寝る？
Maybe you're right. Then what do we do? Go back to our room and sleep?
遊ぼう。
Let's play!
何するの？トランプとか持ってきてないけど、枕投げとか？
Play what? We don't have any cards. What, like a pillow fight or something?
もっと大人の遊び。
No, something more grown up.
え？花札とかギャンブル？どっちにしても道具が。
What, like gambling over Hanafuda? Either way, we don't have the... When they got back to the room, they found a giant futon with 2 pillows laid side by side there. Wait!
わーい。
Yay! Chikamochi pushed Haru to the ground with a cheerful voice. What?
ふふふ。遊ぼう。
The hell is... let's play.
ああ、そう。プロレスとか、あるいはそのマッサージとか。
I'm ready for this. I'm ready for this story to be over. I'm gonna be honest. You mean pro wrestling or massage? Hmm? Haru could feel cold sweat rolling down her still flushed skin. Chikamochi was leaning over her, his gaze oddly warm and passionate. Haru had never seen him like this before.
大人の人はみんなするらしいよ。
All adults do this, don't they?
なんだろうな。フィットネスとかかな。
Oh, that thunder's really gonna kick in right now. What are you talking about? Like fitness or something?
服とか脱いでするんだ。
Hopefully my power doesn't get knocked out or something. That would be unfortunate. Let's take off our clothes.
相撲ね。相撲だと言って。
It's sumo, right? Please say it's sumo.
慣れたら気持ちいいよ。
It feels good once you get used to it.
まさかと思うけど子供ができるようなことじゃないよね。
You're not actually thinking of doing something that can get a girl pregnant, are you?
あ、できる。
Yeah, I am. She had nowhere to run.
なんでそんなことモッチーが言い出すのよ。
Oh God, yeah.
間違ってる。
Don't remind me of that. What's gone into you, Mochi? This isn't like you at all, no matter how you spin it.
いや、はるちゃんとしたかったけど、まだ大人じゃないもんなって我慢してたんだ。でも大人って言うから。
Huh? I mean, I wanted to do it with you, but since we weren't adults, I held back. But you said we're adults, right?
自業自得？いや、そんなバカな。むしろモッチーの方がそういうのは全然なさそうじゃん。
Wait, so it's my fault? No, that can't be. In fact, you're the one who didn't seem like you wanted this kind of thing.
楽しいことは好きだ。はるちゃんと一緒に楽しくなりたいし。
I like fun things. And I want to have fun with you.
っていうかどこでそんなん覚えたのよ。
Wait, where'd you even pick up on all this?
まだ上富士吉にいた頃にね、りっちゃんが遊びに来た日に一緒に寝たりしてて。
Back when I was living in Kamifujiyoshi, Richan slept with me the day she came over.
そうじゃった。あの月顔殿め、モッチーをつまみ食いしよったことは許せんぞ。
So that was it. Damn, Tsuchiku Modono. You shall suffer for taking a bite out of Mochi before me.
あ、神様。神様はそういうのありでしょ。遊ぼう、遊ぼう。
Oh, hey God. You'd go along with this kind of thing, wouldn't you? Come on, let's play.
あのな、モッチー。我としては全然ありじゃが、春のやつと一緒にやっておる今、やつの心にはだいぶ引きずられるんじゃ。
Listen, Mochi, I would have no reservations about it, but when I am with Haru like I am now, her heart has great influence over mine.
恥ずかしいの？
Are you embarrassed?
ぜいじゃ、正直めちゃくちゃ動転しておる。第一惚れ、神と交わるなら、相応の。
The rain and thunder adds a very interesting background noise to this. Certainly, honestly, I am beyond all levels of shocked. Besides, there should be a more appropriate location and procedure when it comes to courting a god.
大丈夫。恥ずかしさが強いほどもっと良くなるってりっちゃん言ってた。
It's okay. Richan said the greater the embarrassment, the better it gets. Tsuchigoma!
っていうか、はるちゃんは覚えてないかもしれないけど、神様だってりっちゃんとなんやかんやあったんでしょ？
By the way, Haruchan might not remember anything, but do you remember doing things with Richan, God? Oh. That was right. Haru and God remembered. 8 years ago, she did indeed have a brush with her Kako Uematsu when she received her taking in. She'd wandered into the feast of the Yomi Purge and gone crazy. It was basically a countermeasure against God inhabiting her body. Mujina and the Tsuchigumo had met at the time, and swore to each other in a secret room that they would fulfill their future schemes and ambitions. The recollections were linked. God and Haru both remembered now. It was that night 8 years ago where Haru, missing her parents, went down the mountain road and returned to Yatsumizu. Fearsome dogs prowled around in the dense mist like they owned the place, yet Haru had walked right past them without getting attacked. In actuality, the main reason they didn't was because they feared the sound of the water in the canteen Haru was carrying with her. However, the young Haru failed to understand that, and she should have been able to enjoy a leisurely stroll with the presence of mist and beasts around her. She cried as she continued to walk, and what she eventually found was...
ハル、どうしてここに？
Haru, what are you doing here? Her own mother. Her father-in-law and husband had argued and her husband was hanged, and so that night she didn't shelter. She took a knife and planned to take revenge on the wolves who had torn her family apart. She doubted everything. Either her husband or her father-in-law could have been a wolf. The woman who never wanted to hate anyone now bore all her hatred towards the wolves. All wolves were bad. She'd kill the wolves and get revenge for her family. That pure, justifiable indignation was known as madness. However, the Feast of the Yomi Purge was cruel. It was nothing more than coincidence she'd survived for so long. At that time, the wolves, the old man who cried wolf, Tokuji Kira, and Gensan were near Serengaga, and the dogs gathered there. However, she had already suffered numerous wounds from driving the dogs away. Bound by their laws, the people of Yasumizu couldn't leave, nor did they try to. Therefore, she too was doubtlessly fated to be killed by the dogs and suffer the corruption, just like anyone else would be. However, when she saw her daughter calmly wandering through Yasumizu without getting attacked by the dogs, she grew afraid. That was perfect timing. To her, it may have looked as though her daughter were controlling the dogs surrounding her, commanding them to focus their attack on her own mother. Yes. Haruaki Fusashi was wrong. The cause wasn't the friction and isolation between Haru and her grandfather following the event. It was this very moment. Ah.
まさかまさかまさかまさかまさかこのようなことで落ち戻りがなされようとは。
Never, 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 never did I imagine I would rise again in this manner.
わかるわかるぞ。この地で狼の眷属方がいかに愚昧なる振る舞いをしておいでか。
I see. How foolishly the descendants of the Okami in this land have behaved. Haru?
哀れな女。恨みたもうな。我は力なき神。貴様を救うことは、あたわざること。せめて。
Foolish woman, begrudge me not. I am a powerless god. I lack the ability to save you, so at the very least.
せめて、無事などもよ。もう苦しませぬよう、早々に息の根を止めてやるがよい。
My badger shall put a swift end to your life, so you suffer no longer.
あるいは、貴様の我への恐れを使えば、蛇の邪魔くらいはできるやもしれませぬな。
Perhaps I could make use of your fear of me to interfere with the snake.
この霧、開ければ晴れるやもしれませぬ。さらばその命、無駄とは思わずに、安らかに夜道を歩まれませ。
This mist may clear up when daybreak comes. Farewell. Walk the path to Yomi in peace, knowing your life was not in vain.
お母さん。
Mom. God had been successfully resurrected, the mother devoured by dogs right in front of her, serving as her first mirror. Oh. To look at it from a more rational perspective, perhaps one could say she developed a separate personality to protect her from her cruel environment. She herself believed herself to merely be acting, and she accepted her mother's death surprisingly calmly. However, there was a peculiarity to it all. While acting, she felt omnipotent, and everything she imagined became reality. In the end, it was apparently the work of a separate intelligence known as God, but that probably couldn't be scientifically proven. The present Haru acknowledged everything, accepted her mother's death, and on top of it, was now going along with God. So in general, she had no problem with any of it. Especially in terms of Rikako Imatsu's rampage. Everyone in Yasumisu, man and woman alike, could all be called victims and perpetrators of it. All she could think was that the things had been resolved as a result of her leaving Yasumisu. It was all a matter of either forgetting or ignoring it. Otherwise, she would end up like the current Haru. To be blunt, it was a killjoy.
Mochi, そこに直れ。
Mochi, sit down. What?
良いから直れ。我と春からの小言を申しつける。
Just do as I say. Haru and I have some words for you.
怒られる。
You're gonna scold me?
確かにあの時、我は土雲殿と、いろいろあったし、そのことはついこの前まで春のやつには隠しておった。
It is true that back then, Tsuchigumo Dono and I, well, did things together, and it was until just now that I kept that hidden from Haru.
うん。
Yeah?
ああいうのはの、純然たる神の世界の話であれば珍しくもないが、人の体を返すとそう簡単ではないのじゃ。
Those sorts of affairs are not uncommon purely in the world of gods, but when done between humans is not so simple.
春のやつはよく思ってはおらぬし、今となっては我も少々圧が悪い。じゃから言うな。
Haru does not believe it was good, and now, I feel somewhat embarrassed too. So well, do not say it.
そっか。じゃあ言わない。
Okay, then I won't.
あと申したじゃろ。山の神は嫉妬深いもの。純潔までは求めんが、我に対して前の女のことを言うなど。
Also, I believe I told you that mountain gods are very jealous. I'm not fixated on chastity, but do not go discussing your previous woman in front of me.
嫉妬はわかるよ。僕もハッサンとやらにハルちゃん取られると思ったら嫌だったし。
I understand jealousy. I would hate that idea of Haru-chan being taken away by that Hassan guy.
そうじゃ。考えてもみよ。あのお方と我が貴様と土雲殿がしたようなことをのべつ幕なしやりまくっておったら。
Then give it thought. How would you feel if that gentleman and I kept engaging in the sort of activity that you and Tsuchigumo Dono did?
むむむ。それは嫌だぞ。
I don't want that.
っていうか、したの？ハルちゃん。
Wait, what do you mean kept, Haru-chan?
今の我はしておらんぞ。それに前でもまでちゃったし。
The current me has done nothing, and even in the past, I that is all.
それ知ってるぞ。
I know that.
違う。キスじゃキス。
Zany, wacky. No, I said kissed him, nothing more.
でもやだ。
But I still don't want that.
そうじゃろ。我も春も同じじゃ。その辺も考え。
Alright, time to wrap this story up. Jesus. Indeed, Haru and I are of the same mind on that. It is because of that that we said we do not wish for you to speak of that woman.
なるほど。ハルちゃんと神様が正しい。
I see. Haru-chan, God, you're right.
わかればよいのじゃ。
As long as you understand.
それにあの女と比べればこの体は少々 貧相であるしね。
And compared to that woman, this body is, well, somewhat lacking.
それはない。はるちゃんの方がずっと可愛いぞ。
Huh? That's not true. You're way cuter.
やめてよモッチ。
She's short
顔
circuits.
熱くなる。
Cut it out, Mochi. You're making me blush.
僕が今仲良くしたいのははるちゃんだけだし、この先もきっとそうだ。
You're the only one I want to be with now, and I'm sure it'll always stay that way.
それは嬉しいよ。
I'm happy to hear that.
だからはるちゃんが嫌なことはしない。今日はおとなしくちょっと離れて寝よう。
So I won't do anything naughty with Haru-chan. I'll sleep away from her and won't make any moves.
一緒に寝るくらいならいいよ。
We can at least sleep together.
いやー、でも
いや
You don't want to?
嫌じゃないけど、
That's not it. It's just,
マドロックチ
Come on, get on with it. Ah.
おお、やっぱ出た。
Oh, figured they'd show up.
さっきから見てりゃ男も女も見えそうで見えない生殺し。しゃぶしゃぶかあんたらは。
I've been watching your passion flip from dead to alive over and over again this whole time. What are you guys, cats in a box?
わかりにくい例え。
Quite a complex analogy.
というか平然とさっきから見てればって言ってんじゃないわよ。
Wait, did you say you were watching us this whole time?
さっきから力の半分をムード演出とサインに振り分けてお泊まりのクライマックス演出に協力してるのにひどい言い草。
I've been using half my power to set the mood and stir his libido to help set the climax for your stay here. Be nicer to me.
おお、そう言われたらなんか不自然にムラムラしてたぞ。
Oh, now that you mention it, I have been feeling kind of horny for some reason.
あんたの仕業か。
That was all you're doing?
しんどいな反応。これでもいろいろ感謝して何かお礼ができればと力を振り絞り背中を押して差し上げたのに。
Wasn't expecting that response. We may not look it, but we were grateful, so we wanted to thank you by using your power to give you two a little nudge, that's all.
おかげで台所がゴミために戻ってしまった。
Thanks to that, the kitchen is now a trash dump again.
どうせついでに覗きを楽しもうとか思ってたんでしょ。
Knowing you, you were thinking you could have some fun peeping on us, didn't you?
めっそうもない。
Why, I'm hurt, of course not.
くらえ。人外限定独身の術。
Eat this. Supernatural being mind reading power.
見たい。若い二人の乱れた性をかぶりつくように見たい。
Oh my god, I want to see two youngins getting it on with each other.
台無しだ。
Jesus. It's ruined, it's all ruined.
むむ。おばちゃんには感謝してるけど、覗いても無駄だぞ。はるちゃんにはちゃんとするって決めたからな。
Listen, old lady, I'm grateful to you, but peeping is out of the question. I already promised to do right by Haru.
モッチ。
Mochi.
かっこつけてるけど、さっき露天風呂でおかみに遊ぼうとか言ってモーションかけたって聞きました。
You act all cool now, but I hear that you tried putting the moves on the proprietress back at the bath.
えへ。
Mochi!
ちょっとドキッとしたしね。
Mochi, you
神様気を
dog.
つけなさいな。この子案外無職っぽいわよ。
I must admit, I'm a little shocked. Be careful, God, these kids are surprisingly lustful.
そういたそう。
I shall heed your advice.
あ、はるちゃんが完全にそういう雰囲気じゃなくなっちゃった。
Oh, now the mood's totally dead, Haru-chan.
なくなったわね完全に。
Yes, completely.
ぶっちゃけおかみが邪魔しなければ、なし崩し的にニャンニャンしてたもんよ。
Honestly,
エロい。
Honestly, if you hadn't interrupted, I think they would have slowly but surely gone all the way. Yeah. How erratic.
しまった
Damn it!
バカなこと言わないでよ
Don't be an idiot.
いやはるちゃんのあのノリはヤバかったよだから僕もやめた方がいいと
Seriously, you were scary like that, Haru-chan, so I think I should stop too.
モッチーはどっちの味方なのよ
Whose side are you on, Mochi?
もういいこんな旅館消し飛んでもいいから全力で2人をもう一度その気にさせるわよ
Forget it. I'll use all my power to get you two in that mood again, even if I have to make the whole inn disappear.
ちぎれちぎれ
Do it. Do it.
最低の悪霊ねあんたら
You guys are the worst ghosts ever.
こうなったらはるちゃんあれしかない
Haru-chan, now let's come to this. We have only one choice.
えあれって
Wait, do you mean
そっちに立って
stand over there?
こう
Like this?
うんせーの
Yep. Ready, set.
バッツ
Balls? Ball? What?
って何なのよこれ
Wait, what are you doing?
はるちゃんも見たじゃんあの映画
Huh? You saw the movie too.
滅びの呪文とかこの世にはないから
There's no such thing as a spell of destruction in this world.
敵が懐かしいネタでふざけてる間に渾身のエロチックパワーがこの辺に溜まってきただろ
Hey, you're gathering all the erotic power around here while our enemies are discussing nostalgic references, right?
ギリギリ
Heh, heh, heh. Just barely.
こんなもの食らったら私ら廃墟で霊に囲まれて最低のふにゃふにゃを味わうことに
If that hits us, we'll be surrounded by ghosts in this abandoned building and suffer the worst humiliation there is.
くらえ枕投げ
Eat this pillow throw.
気が散った
Ah, I can't concentrate.
聞いたよはるちゃん
It's working, Haru-chan.
こうなりゃやけだわ徹底抗戦よ
Now let's come to this. No holding back. It's do or die.
何をこさくな
Such impertinence.
あ面白そう
Oh, this looks fun. Clatter, 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 clatter. What's going on? Blah, 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 blah. I want to join in. And thus Haru and Mochi spent the night having a pillow fight with the ghost of the mountain. Zany. Set to
承
max.
知したあとはお任せをにゃ
Understood. Leave the rest to me.
うん
起きたはるちゃんなんかずっと寝言言ってたよ
You up, Haru-chan? You were talking in your sleep. Haru woke up to find herself sleeping on a tatami mat and noticed her head was resting in Chikamochi's lap. She got up and saw nothing but wilderness as far as the eye could see. There was a tatami mat on the grassy plain that she had been sleeping on.
朝焼け
Is it sunrise?
夕焼けっぽい寝すぎたね
It's sunset. We slept in way too late.
記憶ないないつ意識失ったんだろう
When did we lose consciousness? I don't even remember.
はるちゃん夜明けと同時くらいにノックダウンしてたよ
You were knocked out right at dawn.
無事でよかった
I'm glad we're okay.
おかみさんたち疲れたから帰るって最後まで見てあげなくてごめんって
The hostess and the others went home. Said they were tired. I also apologized for not watching over you the whole time.
なんでそんなに首相なのよあんなめちゃくちゃだったくせに
How could they act so admirably when they were so senseless?
楽しかったんじゃないかな神様のところに来いって話も考えてみるって言ってたよ
Because they had fun, maybe. They said they'd think over the invitation to join with God.
一種のツンデレというやつでございますかの困った連中じゃ
So they are a breed of tsunderes, I believe. What a troublesome lot.
どうしようねあの一団で藤吉村にやってきたら
What are we gonna do if those guys come to Fujiyoshi?
山に縛られた者どもゆえそのようなこともありますまいが首相にするならまた飯でも炊いてやりましょうかの
They will not be able to engage in that sort of horseplay when bound by the laws of the mountain. But if they are on their best behavior, perhaps we will cook for them again.
そうだね
I like the sound of that.
楽しかったね。
That was fun. Haru hesitates slightly over Chikamochi's words.
まあ少しはね。
Kinda, I guess. That's how I feel. Kinda. Then suddenly turned away and muttered that.
それより大変。早いところバスで戻らないと。
Anyway, we can't sit around. We need to get back to the bus as soon as we can.
だね。さすがにみんな心配しそう。
Yeah, everyone's gotta be worried.
昨日のことおじいちゃんになんて説明しよう。
I wonder how I'm gonna explain yesterday to Oji-chan.
ちょっとだけ神隠しとか。
Just say we got spirited away for a bit, maybe.
言えて妙だね。それで
Couldn't have put it better myself. The pair laughed and ran off. Meanwhile, in the shadows of the grass.
次に2人が来る時のためにそういうホテルに改装ね。どぎたない罠と超エロ術で今度こそ。ジュルル。
We gotta remodel the place into one of those couples hotels the next time they come. We'll catch them in our filthy and lewd traps for sure. Mm-hmm.
行為
As you wish. The pair knew nothing of the horrifying plan being formulated at that very moment. And by far, in my opinion, the weakest of the 4 stories we've read so far. Holy shit. I'm pretty sure. Let me rethink about this. Ryder vs. Mystery Station was actually kind of fun as like a small little horror story. And we got to see Mamiya, more of her, and she's cool. Blockhead vs. Final Boss. It was kind of weird, but at least it was interesting. You got to see the interaction between Misato and Rikako. Huntress vs. Bear was fine. Of course, I mean, it's the main character I complained about most of the game, but like seeing like the direct like events with him and Chiemi right after the main story was kind of interesting. This one, yeah, it's as I kind of mentioned, it was trying to be funny most of it, most of it, and it's just the nonsensical, zany, wacky humor that's like sometimes comes through like the main game, but those are like so select moments where you're like, oh, it's fine. You roll your eyes at worst, but then it's over. But it was just constantly happening. And you're like, ugh. Stop, please. But that leaves just one more to do, probably sometime later this week or something, maybe this weekend. Sheep versus Stack of Reports, a documentary. One's dream is another's reality. An entity viewing everything from outside the story aims to recap the incident from another viewpoint and tie up loose ends. Oh, I can't wait to tie up loose ends. Can't wait. All right, I'm going to throw a BRB up. I'll get the next game set up. We're going to check out PUBG 4D. I'm going to get some water and stuff, and then we'll play that. Probably not for long tonight. Probably just like an hour, maybe even less, depending. Who knows? But like I said, I don't think it's a long game either, so we're gonna knock it out in probably a stream or 2 or maybe 3 if we go really slow. But yeah, we'll check that out in a second. So I'll be right back. Give me a handful of minutes.